Au mau, au mau, au mau sogbolisa, mau sogbolisa, mau sogbolisa, mau sogbolisa adanuwoto, asikleafo, adanuwoto, 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 asikleafo. Au mau sogbolisa. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat that is scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And in this Lord I say, I did sunrise and sundown. Him I go day like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth fat fruit in his season. Him lift never I go wither, and whatsoever him do shall prosper. Yay! The heathen them now, they saw them there like a chaff, which the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn for judgment, of the sin among them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah loveth the way of the righteous, and the way of the sin among them always and always. I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God say, Jah! Yes, where two is and three meet in the name of the Most High Jah. And there's so Jaja there. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain same way. If Jaja never watch upon them same house when build for you, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is saved. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks. Au mau sogbolisa, au mau sogbolisa, au mau sogbolisa, adanuwoto asikleafo. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot. And each time this black pot rests on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. Yes. Now the black pot is representative of the African continent, and the ingredients in the black pot also represent us as the people of Africa. Now just as the ingredients in the black pot decide to put away all differences and come together to produce one homogeneous product, it behoves us as a people to also come together on one continent, the continent of Africa, and produce that single homogeneous product known as development. Now look at the ingredients in the black pot. They have different sizes, shapes, and colors, aromas, taste, and even smells. Yet they put away all this to be able to produce one homogeneous product for your nourishment and enjoyment. When it's food time, it's time for unity. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. We are live on Pan-African TV, also live on Ghana Web TV. We are live on Black Empire TV. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. We are the champions of Pan-Africanism on TV. And the good thing about us is that via satellite, we are seen all over the continent of Africa and beyond. Your business will do so well on this show. Let us be that lifeline to your staggering business line. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. First story. We normally don't criticize in this segment, but if we must criticize, we'd only just criticize to build and not to destroy. More Aisha Huang infringements. My God. Who is Aisha Huang? This is the poster kid of GALAMSEY. For some time now, everybody has forgotten about Aisha Huang. That is what Ghana is all about. Breaking news. When the news comes out, we all rise to the top just like Andrew's liver salt. Right after that, we go to the ground again, and everybody forgets it. This is the woman who visited our country with a lot of atrocities. She was arrested several times. The last time we heard, she was put on a plane and shipped back all the way to Guangzhou. Or was it Beijing? Yes. And we heard the special advisor to the president now. I'm talking about Osafo Maafo. What did he tell us? He told us point blank that there was no need to jail this woman. After all, it will not improve our economy. Such a joker, my brother, my sister. He's been quiet for some time now. If this is the man, the level of intellect he has, and he is the advisor to the president, I'm not surprised the CD is the worst performing currency in the world right now. I'm not surprised that we have an arrogant president. I'm not surprised that everybody's talking down on this arrogant president. My brother, my sister, more Aisha Huang infringements. What is in the newsreel? Run it. It says what? Aisha Huang entered my concession and mined illegally for years. Witness tells court. How did that happen? Roll the news. This is the company, and it's called Volta Resources Incorporated. What is it involved in? Natural resources and beyond. Registered, fully gazetted. It's supposed to be doing legal business in Ghana. Yes, the CEO is Ghanaian. Hear me now. Now, what is the story rolling up? Come, let's read it together. Come on. It says, the owner of a mining prospecting company has told an Accra High Court that Chinese nationalist Aisha Huang, or Huang He, encroached on his concession and mined illegally for years. Nana Safu Prempe said his company, Volta Resources Limited, held a license that permitted it to undertake prospecting of minerals in some parts of the Ashanti region. He submitted a number of documents, including maps, receipts, and correspondence between himself and the Minerals Commission to demonstrate to the court that he had the legal rights over the concession. He explained that sometime in 2015, Aisha Huang entered this concession, yes, and started undertaking mining activities. Wow. This development, he revealed, rendered his team's exploration activities nearly impossible. He submitted letters he wrote to the Regional Security Council, making a formal complaint about this development to the court. Mr. Prempe further explained that he tried to seek the intervention of traditional authorities. A complaint, he added, was additionally filed at the police headquarters here in Accra. He continued that he equally sued Aisha Huang, aka Huang En, at the Bekwai Circuit Court. All these efforts, he revealed, proved futile, and the illegal mining continued. I know the accused person. My knowledge of her brothers, her illegal activities at the Volta Resources concession. In 2015, she commenced her mining operations at the concession of Volta Resources. She later moved to another part of our concession at Bipotinting. This was where her Chinese workers were arrested. From that period of 2015 to 2017, we made all efforts to evict her from the land and stopped her illegal activities, which all proved futile. I hereby state that her activities were illegal because my company, Volta Resources Limited, had been granted a prospecting license. So there is no way she could possibly have a mining license over the same piece of land. I reported the case to RECSEC and also to the chiefs and traditional leaders of Bekwai. That also proved futile. I wish to tender into evidence a letter to RECSEC about our complaints. In February 2016, we made a complaint at the police headquarters that did not yield much. We caused a writ to be issued at the Bekwai District Court. The Bekwai District Court is said to have granted an injunction barring Aisha Huang, aka Huang En, from continuing with her mining activities. The lawyer of Aisha Huang, Nkrabia Ifadate, then commenced his cross-examination. He asked Mr. Prepra to confirm whether the injunction granted by the court was to last 7 days and if Aisha Huang was a party to that legal action. Mr. Prempe indicated that this was what the court order stated. That the trial continues on Monday, November 21. Aisha Huang is standing trial for various mining offenses and believe be a key figure in the illegal mining business in the Ashanti region. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. My brother, we live in our own country, yet we are powerless. From what this gentleman is saying, Mr. Prempeh says, he has documents showing that the Lands Commission gave him legal rights over the piece of land. A Chinese national comes on the land with extra power and envy. Oh, we've heard that this place has a lot of gold. It doesn't matter who has it. We will still encroach and we will use the powers in our favor to deal with this situation. From 2015 all the way to 2017, even chiefs could not help. Police could not help. That tells us that we don't have independence. Come! It tells us that we still don't have independence. We pretend to be independent, yet we are so dependent. When the senior advisor to the president openly stated in America that this woman would be shipped back to China, and it was going to be done all because jailing her would not give us any improvement in our economy. In fact, he said it at the time she had already been shipped back. If this is the mentality we have as a country, then I am afraid that we need to fight for independence again. We may need to change our national flag and build a national anthem and a national pledge, because it looks like what we have right now is nothing but a mockery. Aisha Huang is still running around destroying our land. And interestingly, it's a Ghanaian lawyer who is standing defending her. They say the lawyer should not say that he will never defend anybody. But may I ask again, is it everybody the lawyer is supposed to defend, even if the lawyer knows that this person is a bad, dangerous criminal? Must you defend every criminal? All because of your food? All because you must eat? I want to understand it. Should you always defend somebody that you know deep inside you is a criminal? I know lawyers who will say, oh, just tell me the truth about the whole thing, I'll defend you no matter what. Oh, lawyer, I'm actually a thief, I killed that woman. Lawyer will go to court and say, my client, there's no evidence that he has killed. The biggest evidence is that he has told you that he killed. But he will still go to court and defend these people. I don't know why some people can demean their profession like that. This is the lawyer of Aisha Huang. The other day he told us that, well, that's his profession. He needs to work and eat. And I just want to ask, because you eat maggots, because you eat maggots, should you not be careful what is holding the maggot or what is at the other side of the maggot? You might make a mistake and swallow a whole hook that has a maggot around it. I'm speaking in parables. Let us look at our country. Let us be more patriotic and let us be able to defend the rights of our country and forget about our stomachs. After all, whether we eat or not, we will still go down in history as good or bad. Our eating food should not mar our records for the next generation. We must all be working in the interest of the next generation. That is what the Americans, the British, the Chinese, and the Japanese do. I was just having a discussion with my team. When an American discovers something, he's in a hurry to teach other Americans. In fact, when you come up to him, asking him what it is, he's so happy to share it with you. Am I wrong? Those of you who live with Americans, Japanese, Chinese, they share it for the sake of posterity, but not us Africans. We have several herbalists who have discovered so many things. They are in their graves. They are teaching corpses and ghosts the secret in their graves. When the African is able to discover something great, in fact, he all of a sudden becomes an altar. Everybody should go there and worship him. He will never ever share the secret with you. It's done. That is why we are so individualistic. Each one of us is trying to achieve something on his own when we could all come together and achieve a bigger thing. Am I making sense? What is wrong with us? We used not to be like this. It's the slave master who came to sow seeds of discord amongst us and brought about individualism amongst us. We used to be so community-minded. The food that I have, I'm not going to eat it yet. Let me find out if my neighbor has eaten. You knock at the door and say, oh, there's food, oh. Have you eaten already? Oh, yes, I've eaten already. I just came from the farm where I ate. Okay. Then you tease each other and say, you didn't invite me. You go and say, but now, even when you are hiding to eat and your neighbor is coming, you push it under the bed and wipe your mouth as if you have not eaten anything. I'm speaking in parables. My brother, our independence would only be a mockery if we sit on our own land. Foreigners come in and have power more than us. I leave it here. Next thing I want to look at is rolling on your screen. It says rice, vegetable oil, including fish and chicken, importation in limbo. What does it mean? Right now in Ghana, fish, chicken, rice, and vegetable oil, and some other such products cannot be imported into the country for one reason or the other. And I'm going to be telling you, it's been made difficult for people to import these things. Look at them. Rice, when Christmas is coming, everybody wants a bag of rice. And we look for the white rice that is whitest. So that when we cook it, we can show it in the area that we have cooked the whitest rice. We don't know that we are eating berry. We don't know that we are eating sickness. The rice that is, in fact, yellow here, we don't want to eat it. The rice that is brown, we don't want to eat it. We see it as dirty rice. We want white rice, refined rice, berry, sickness. Our people need education. You claim you are a Muslim. You go into a shop and buy chicken that has been shipped all the way from France. You don't know the person who slaughtered these animals is probably gay or even lesbian, which your religion doesn't agree with, but you use it to enjoy your salah and all that. When you have your own chicken here that you could patronize, and you know how the chicken was grown and how it was even slaughtered. Halal, I'm talking about halal. What is in the newsreel? Roll it. It says, Bank of Ghana withdraws foreign exchange, that's FX. Foreign exchange support for importation of rice, vegetable oils, and others. Come! Let's read it together. The Bank of Ghana has withdrawn foreign exchange support to customers for the importation of certain non-critical essential goods. Did you hear that? Non-critical or essential goods. Joy Business, however, understands that the withdrawal of the foreign exchange support for the importation of these non-essential goods took effect in the past 3 weeks. The goods affected include rice, poultry, vegetable oils, toothpicks, pasta, fruit juices, bottled water, and ceramic tiles. An electronic message from the Bank of Ghana to the banks cited by Joy Business read, in accordance with the President Akufo-Addo directive issued at his recent address to the nation on the Ghanaian economy on Sunday, 30th October 2022, the Bank of Ghana will no longer provide foreign exchange support for the imports. Please be advised and act accordingly. It pointed out. This move will be seen by many as a policy that will help reduce the country's exposure to imports. This will subsequently reduce the high demand for US dollars and other major foreign currencies and consequently slow down the rapid depreciation of the cedi. My brother, why do we wait until disaster strikes us before we start thinking? We are not proactive. We do not believe in the saying that prevention is better than cure. These things should have been banned several trillions of years ago, long before Adam was even born or created. Long before Jesus Christ was born, these things should have been stopped. Now the Bank of Ghana says, okay, we are not going to provide foreign exchange support. You know what that means? It's simple. The Bank of Ghana is supposed to have foreign exchange in terms of dollars, in terms of pounds, and whatever. So that when you are importing something, all you need to do is to present the Ghana cedi so that you'll be given foreign exchange in return. Do you get it? So that the goods can come in. The Bank of Ghana can even guarantee, depending on what kind of importer you are, with foreign exchange so the goods can come in. My brother, my sister, we produce rice in Ghana. We have tried as much as possible to popularize our Ghana-made rice. We all know the Afife rice, brown and beautiful. If you go to Tamale, we have the yellow rice. And when you eat it in the form of jollof, my brother, my sister, you are like a lion. But we leave all these things and go and eat the so-called perfumed rice. What kind of perfume do you want? What kind of perfume do you want? You see why at the age of 21, some of you cannot have erections? You see why by the age of 22, some of you already have cancer of the pancreas, cancer of the scrotum, vaginal cancer. Some of you have cancer of the eye because even toothpicks you import. Why do you disrespect the farmers like that? The farmers that are producing the chicken, the fish, and all the fruits, we look down on them. We don't want to eat fresh fruit. We all want canned fruits with preservatives inside. Why won't you get cancer? To the point that we are even importing bottled water. All of a sudden, Galamsey has destroyed our water bodies. And our water contains fecal matter, aka feces. The other day it came out. Banner headlines all over Ghana. The water in Ghana contains fecal matter. You take out money from your hard-earned pocket and sweat only to buy sickness and fecal matter into your body. What a shame. Kudos to the government. But listen. Why is that the leaders of Africa are always playing catching up? You know what that means? Catching up. We are never in the lead. We are always playing catching up. Now the man that you are imitating, the man that you are following, remember that there's no way you can ever overtake him. If I am copying this person, he needs to always be ahead of me so I can copy him. It is time to stop copying. It is time to stand on our own. After all, when we're looking for our independence, we did not look at anybody. We looked at ourselves. Congrats to the Ghanaian farmer. Congrats to the Ghanaian people. If we continue like this, I want to see Ghana stop the importation of rice. Totally. But the danger is this. Now the Bank of Ghana is only saying that we will not support you with foreign exchange. How about if the importers themselves get their own foreign exchange and import? It's going to defeat this. But at least it is a big step in the right direction. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunomo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have so much more to give you. But I have a quote for you. A quote. And I need us to open our ears and watch this quote. Come here. Come. I need us to watch this quote. It's very big. Watch properly. Hey! And it's about importation. Wayo!
Skipper George.
Blackpot. Coco show.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo. And here we speak truth to power. We don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. Many people have asked me, Black RASTA, if you ever become president, what would you do? I will not build roads. I will not build hospitals. I will not build schools. There are already hospitals and schools and even roads that are tearing apart. Why don't we develop that culture of maintenance? Aside that, the problem of Africa, the biggest, is not roads and schools and hospitals. It's the mindset. When Nkrumah gave us independence, the first thing he said, after talking about the independence, he said, now it is time to change our attitudes. Attitudinal change. Nkrumah said, and I quote, the best way to fight corruption is to build a strong public opinion against it. Hallelujah. How many people even understand this? Se upese ukuntia proye. Ma obia hu se proye nye. Nkora no kra omu nyinyi eba no. Mo mu hu se proye ye proye kan seven mprenu. When everybody grows up, and whilst growing up, they have a strong resentment against corruption. There will not be any careless abandonment of responsibility. You have to hear it again. If everybody is growing up and has it at the back of their minds that corruption is wrong, and there's a strong public opinion against corruption, there would not be that careless abandonment of responsibility. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, the words of Kwame Nkrumah. You saw our quote for the day. It says, if we cannot export the scenery, then we have to import the tourists. What do we mean by scenery? The aesthetics, the mountains, yeah? The beautiful things that we have, the scenes that will attract the tourists to come. If we cannot take those scenes to them, if we cannot carry it to them to see, because they must still see it, we will import the tourists so they can see the sceneries. It's another way of saying, if Muhammad would not go to the mountain would have to come to Muhammad. You know what that means? It means that by hook or crook, we have to make it happen. But we don't have that mentality in this country. When we try once and it doesn't work, we abandon it. Careless abandon. Next thing we need to look at is rolling on your screens. It's coming like a tsunami. Watch it. It says what? Judgment, debt, prioritized. Judgment, debt, prioritized. Jesus. What is judgment debt? When people sue the nation because the nation breached a certain agreement or contract, and for that matter, the nation must come back to them and be able to pay them some compensation. We call that judgment debt. True? That's a layman's definition. Go to the newsreel. What is there? It says what? Watch it. It says Oforiatta has used over 12 million Ghana cedi oil revenue to pay judgment debts. Ablakwa alleges. Come. Judgment debt. That's what Ablakwa is saying. If this man was born in Portugal, they would have called him Ablakus. is the story. The Member of Parliament, MP for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has alleged that Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has used over 12 million Ghana cedis of Ghana's oil revenue to pay judgment debts. According to him, no finance minister has dared to use Ghana's oil revenue to pay judgment debts except Ofori-Atta since the country started exploring oil. In a series of tweets shared on Monday, November 14, 2022, the MP added that this action by Ofori-Atta adds to his recklessness and justifies the calls for him to be sacked. For the first time since Ghana started commercial oil production 10 years ago, embattled Ken Ofori-Atta becomes the only finance minister to squander a staggering 12.4 million Ghana cedis of our oil revenues to pay a judgment debt. For the avoidance of doubt, no Ghanaian minister has ever dared to touch our precious oil revenues for judgment debt. Consistent with dangerous and recklessness, Ken's conduct was carried out without any regard to the Ghanaian people. And these are the tweets. Look at it. For the first time since Ghana started commercial oil production 10 years ago, embattled Ken Ofori-Atta becomes the only finance minister to squander a staggering 12.4 million Ghana cedis of our oil revenues to pay a judgment debt. For the avoidance of doubt, no Ghanaian finance minister has ever dared to touch our precious oil revenues for judgment debt. Consistent with dangerous Ken, this reckless conduct was carried out without parliamentary approval, and he calls him Dangerous Ken. Just as Trump calls Joe Biden Sleepy Joe, this is Dangerous Ken. Dash it away and come. My brother, this is what is happening. I'm hearing so much about this thing should have gone to the parliament. It's not gone there. Somebody arbitrarily decided that he's wiser than all the parliament and the people of Ghana, so he can take decisions wholeheartedly and single-handedly. Can you believe this? Remember when we were going for Sputnik V from Russia and we couldn't get it? We decided to contract terrorists in the United Arab Emirates. The Minister of Health did that. He went to Parliament and lied. Up till now, the best the president could do was to laugh at the whole serious issue like a pot-bellied flippant. The health minister, Menu, is still walking around. Nothing happened to him. Sputnik V, they were getting it from terrorists. It took one journalist from Norway to warn the whole Ghana that, hey, Ghana, did this your thing go to parliament? Did you research to find out who these people are? They are on the wanted list of the FBI and the CIA. They are terrorists. Oh, one of them was called Sheikh Al Maktoum. We all remember that name, right? And now Ajimai Menu started running to them. Oh, bring us back our money. The people said, but we supplied you with some. Hey, if the Sputnik V they had given to us for coronavirus was fake, how could we have known? That's how careless some of our countrymen can be. And they behave as if they are demigods. They behave as if the country is for them alone. They are the only people with brains. If you fool and the country is breaking down, it breaks down on all of us. It will never say that because you guys misbehaved, it's going to fall on your heads alone. After all, when it's raining, it falls on everybody's house, not one person's house. Judgment debt. If what Ablakwa is saying is the truth, and this guy hardly lies, he's a politician, but he's young enough and conscious enough to know that he must work for the next generation. Nobody's an island. Nobody stands alone. If your children alone make it in life and other people's children don't make it, they will chase your children and give them hell. Should I give an example? I like proverbs. These days, proverbs are not taught in schools, but I'll give you a proverb. There's a Nigerian proverb that says, the child that does not get the warm embrace from the village will burn down the village in order to keep warm. Should I say it again? The child who is denied the warm village embrace will burn down the whole village in order to keep warm. I know you don't understand it. When you embrace, it's a sign of love. We feel each other's chest beating with the heart inside, and you feel the warmth, right? Literally, that warmth, if a child does not get it and is denied, he will burn down the whole village. When you burn, what do you use? Fire. So the fire will give you heat, but it's deeper than that. If you raise up your child in hatred, you deny the child love, he will grow up with hatred, and what does he do? He will give hatred back to you. Do you get it? That's what it means. That's why the Bible says what? Bring up a child or train up a child the way he should go, so when he grows, he shall not depart from it. Hallelujah. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunumo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more to share with you. But you know Africa is full of islands, right? Madagascar is the biggest, right? Africa has so many landlocked countries, right? Burkina Faso is one of those. How about deserts? When we talk about deserts, you know that we have some of the best deserts in Africa. You can remember some of them. Oh, you remember Kalahari Desert and the rest of them? Maybe the most popular of them is Sahara Desert. But which one is the biggest desert in Africa? And where is it located? Which is the biggest desert in Africa? And where is it located? Hey! Wayo!
Skip a judge.
Blakk Pot, Kokusho, man.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk RASTA, is the Sahara Desert, there in Morocco. How many millions of square miles? Next item. Remember to take our numbers off the screen and do business with us. Anas had ulterior motive for GALAMSEY expose. You want to hear it again? Anas had ulterior motive for GALAMSEY expose. Who is saying this? He's my very good friend, Paul Adomochri. I like this guy. I'm going to borrow one of his suits for a party soon. Yeah. This is Paul Adomochri. Yes. Adomochri is a journalist. He's gone through the mill. He worked with Joy FM, City, and some other places like that. Media houses. He's quite brilliant. When I watch him, I think that he has some beautiful flair and all that. But of late, brother has become a political puppet. A political pawn. P-A-W-N. And I worry for him. But he's a smart guy. I hope that he will realize it somewhere along the line and be okay and be able to turn a new leaf. Why am I saying that? Everything about the government he defends. I'm yet to hear him say one thing against this government. He says he will never do that because the doors of the president are always open to him. And he can walk in anytime and talk to the president. And I sit back and I say, where are the 138 MPs who said the president is arrogant and that is not a listening president and they have no access to him? Well, you can use Paul as the key. Pick him, push his head in the keyhole, turn his legs around, and the door is opened. If the president can open his doors to Paul Adumochi and will close his doors at his 138 MPs in parliament, hallelujah, then Paul must have some strong political muscles. Hallelujah. Paul Adumochi has been against Anas Armeyao's way of doing investigative journalism. The first time I heard him talk against Anas was when he was talking about number 12. Now with number 12, what did he say? He said, oh, now Anas, his way of doing investigative journalism, he'll bring a camera, put money in front of you, and then he say, macho, 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 and then, yes, they sack you. And that is not journalism, according to him. And that, look, you did that to Nyantechi. Nyantechi has been sacked, and then Ghana soccer all of a sudden has gone down the doldrums. I looked at this guy and I said, this man has no sense of patriotism. How could he talk like this? If we have a thief who is running a certain institution, stealing from the institution, plotting to steal some more, but he's successful, the team is running well, should you say that because the team is running well, he should be there? It's like you have a pilot, a lousy pilot. He doesn't even know what it's about. In fact, he's not even a pilot. But he's sitting down there, he's touched a few buttons, and the plane is flying nicely in the sky. Should you say he should continue? Or you will sack him and bring the real pilot there? Think about it. Paul Adumochi is here again. What does he say? Roll it. He says, Galamsey economy exposé is part of a vendetta. It's not about Edu Boahin. Edu Boahin is the sacked, whatever, what's the name? Sacked finance minister's deputy. Read it. What does it say? Broadcaster. I think they should have added ace broadcaster. He deserves it. Or renowned broadcaster. He's paid his dues, man. Anyway, broadcaster Paul Adumochi has questioned the timing of the release of the Galamsey economy exposé by investigative journalist Anas Armeyao Anas, which was recorded in 2018. In an editorial on his Good Evening Ghana show, Paul Adumochi said that the explanations given by renowned journalist Abdul Malik Kwekubaku Jr. on why the documentary was delayed points to an ongoing fight. He hinted that the documentary was not released to fight corruption, but to score points against someone he described as a potential candidate who got hold of the documentary. In fact, that's a presidential candidate who got hold of the documentary in 2018. It comes out as a major vendetta, and he's talking about the issues surrounding the documentary. It comes out as a major vendetta between two people. It may not even have been about Charles. Now we are hearing that the fundamental opponent to Tiger Eye, whom we know, a presidential candidate, in the process of investigating Tiger Eye, probably found the material, the documentary. It is believed that he found this material and shared it with other people. So this material has been in the system since 2019. So it looks like the person that Kwekubaku said stole it, he took it and shared it with other people, and as Kwekubaku alleges, somebody either the person who stole the documentary or another person was boasting about having the documentary. So when Tiger Eye people, whom Kweku Baku described as owners and authors, found out that they had a copy of the material, they decided to fire it, that's publish it. So that is a vendetta. At that stage, I am not sure it is about fighting corruption to support Ghana. It's a personal vendetta, he said. Dash it away. Personal vendetta. Well, all Paul is saying is this. Anas did this investigation. He had the raw tapes. He had the idea of releasing it. All of a sudden, it got lost, as confirmed by Kweku Baku Jr., Anas Armiyao, Anas's boss. So the tapes got missing. And all of a sudden, a politician, loudmouth politician, as described by Kweku Baku, claimed that he had it because somebody in Anas's camp stole it and sold it to him. He saw it and boasted that he had it. And that he is even bigger than Anas. And all of a sudden, the documentary couldn't come out. I have deeper information about this, but I'm going to keep it here as to who stole it and where the person is now. Some sketchy details. But hear me now. Anas Armiya, Anas spent a lot of money to do this documentary. All of a sudden, it was lost. 4 years down the line, they found the tapes again. As to how they found the tapes, for all you know, I'm just hazarding a guess. The same person who stole it became remorseful, called Anas and said, Anas, I'm sorry I did this, but I'm going to give you the tapes. I made a copy. In fact, I'm going to send it back to you so you can use it. Anas said, okay, send it. And he got back the tapes, and they decided to fire the team. Now, what Paul Adumotre is saying is that they probably would never have aired it if the loudmouthed presidential candidate did not come out to boast that he had gotten it, and therefore that documentary couldn't come out again. Charles Edouboyin had seen this documentary since 2018 or 2019. But he was assured, probably, that, hey, listen, this documentary would never come out. It has been taken and I have bought it. It's finished. And he also decided to live in his fool's paradise, thinking that, oh, that's it, it's gone. And then, boom, whoever sold it probably got in contact with Anas, and then the documentary came out finally, and he got fired. Maybe Kennedy Japan at this point is looking for the guy who sold it to him to tell him, you have betrayed me, or something like that. But the thing is that Anas's boss, Kweku Baku, said they found the tape somewhere, the copy. Yes, it could sound like a personal vendetta. Kennedy Japan. Hey, did I just say Kennedy Japan? Well, the loud-mouthed politician that we all know, and he is actually trying to be a presidential candidate. It most probably looks like it is him because he was the one who was talking about Anas and getting secret tapes from Anas and so on and so forth. Watch this now. Now the documentary is out. I'm sure that Kennedy Japan feels he's been given a raw deal. I'm sure that Charles Edouboyin feels so betrayed and so sad that Kennedy was not able to protect him that much. And again, he's shocked. Is it a personal vendetta? Well, it could be, as we look at the story. But listen, this story was done without that personal vendetta. The initial mind was to do an investigation without Kennedy Japan or whoever this loudmouth guy is. Now the thing got lost. So if we get it again, there's nothing about the personal vendetta. The original idea was to bring it out, it to come out, with or without the so-called personal vendetta. Am I making sense? So let's look at the original idea. In law, they have something they call, it's like something that you make up after an afterthought. This is not an afterthought. The original idea was that we are going to do an investigation and release it. They did it. Somebody stole it. So when we get it back, we follow the original idea. What's the personal vendetta in this? We should rather look at the alleged criminal-minded people in the documentary. And I hear some people say, you put money on a table and then you video people and then you go around and say, Machino, I've caught him. What? Listen, man, listen. You all thinking like that and talking about entrapment, watch the documentaries. You hear the people talking. It's not a Mr. Bean kind of documentary where people don't talk. The people are talking. They are telling you their criminal minds just when they see money. In my days, if people were going to work in the bank, to audition to work in the bank, sometimes they tested them with money. You go for the interview, they drop money somewhere and see whether you take it or not. It's all part of the test. If you are not a criminal, why should you see money and all of a sudden your mind changes? And you are in charge of the finances of your country. We all saw that guy carrying that polythene bag full of dollars, walking away because he had been given a gift and trying to divert the contract into his private real estate business. All these things you guys don't see. And people are there talking trash. How would the country grow if we don't have cameras like those of Anas chasing them? Let's be wise. We need Anas. When Nana Akufo-Addo said he will use the Anas principle, he wasn't sleeping. He wasn't coaxed. Was he under any duress? These are some of the things that will help us. The only thing we may have to check is to see if Anas is doing it genuinely or he's blackmailing. For instance, you have the documentary, then you call the person and say, well, you have been caught in this documentary, pay me this amount of money and go free. If there's any evidence against that, then we shall all write against Anas. But the principle is solid. Dash it away and come. Come! Next thing. That's the last one, right? Watch it. Diplomatic intelligence fiasco. Ghana is always getting it wrong. The other day we went and broke Bulgarian embassy and brouhaha all over the place. We went and broke the Nigerian embassy. The Nigerians were not happy. Hula baloo all over the place. Diplomatic fiasco. And now, they release a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Look at the letter. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Ghana. It has the coat of arms of Ghana. And what does the letter say? Look at it. Look at the letter. Come, let's read it together. Come on. It says what? Security updates on what? Travel advisory and blah, 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 blah. What is he talking about? He's talking about the fact that, Ghanaians should not travel to Abuja because, the president has asked for some hotels to be closed down because of security issues and blah, blah, from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It came out. Yes, it came out. And when it came out, a few days after, bam, another one came to replace this. This one. And what did this one say? He said, whoever released that was not authorized. So ignore that. This is it. You can go to Abuja. There's not an issue. After the Nigerian president probably panicked and called the people of Ghana to say, why? Why are you making my country look like it's a terrorist zone? By writing this, do you know how many investors you are sending out of my country? Diplomatic intelligence fiasco. What is this? When you do this, you know what you are doing? You are sowing seeds of discord amongst yourselves. But what does the story itself say? Our earlier statement asking for non-essential travel to Abuja to be avoided was unauthorized. Foreign Affairs Ministry. Read it. It says what? The Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Ministry says its press statement issued on Wednesday asking Ghanaians to avoid non-essential travels to Abuja, Nigeria, was unauthorized. The ministry does want it to be disregarded completely. What kind of fiasco is this? Unauthorized. So who released it? What are you doing to the person? Is that how your ministry is? Any Tom, Dick, and Harry, any idiot can get up and release a statement on the letterhead of the foreign. They are not denying that they did not release it. They are only saying that whoever released it was not authorized. Is that the kind of country we want to live in? Dash it away. Well, my name is Blakk, and I want to say thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate you take our numbers from off the screen and do business with us. The more you do business with us, the more you give us that financial muscle to be able to rewire the minds of our people. Yes. We're looking forward to doing business with you. We love you and we appreciate you. It's all about pan-Africanism. We don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. I'll leave you here. Come along. Hey. Wayo.